Hey, what's up guys? Today we are going to talk about inductors. Inductors are the evil twin of the capacitor. So let's start off by saying what we already know about capacitors. Capacitors block DC and they pass AC and they store energy in an electric field. Now, what's an inductor? An inductor blocks AC, passes DC. In fact, to a DC current, an inductor is nothing more than a piece of wire. And an inductor stores energy in a magnetic field. So, there you see there's similarities in that they're different. Now, let's also say that every piece of wire has three things. Every piece of wire has resistance, every piece of wire has capacitance, and every piece of wire has inductance. There's no such thing as a free lunch. There's no clean signal. This exists everywhere. So with that being said, the simplest form of an inductor is a coil of wire. And like I said, it stores energy in a magnetic field. So if this is our piece of wire, and this is our current being pushed through that piece of wire, then this green band represents the magnetic field being created by that current going through a piece of wire. So if we take our piece of wire and we curl it like such, and we pass our current.
You are 0.25 miles, 0.41 kilometers, north of the center of Toronto, Ohio.
Okay, I don't know why Alexa decided to share that information with us, but that was very nice of her. So now we have much more magnetic field. And then if we put a core in the middle, some sort of magnetic material, ferrite, iron, whatever, and we wrap our wire around it like this, what we get are magnetic fields that come out like this. And what you will see happening is if we draw a small graph here, this is current, this is time. When the current is first introduced through the coil, it will rise until the coil is fully charged, and then it will taper off. And then, when the current is removed, the field will collapse like that. So if we were to look at that on an oscilloscope, and we will do that here shortly, what you would see is something that looks like this. Boom, boom, boom. That's that typical sawtooth pattern. That's your inductor pattern you'll see on an oscilloscope. Now, inductors are measured in henries. But a henry is a huge measure of inductance, just like a farad is a huge measure of capacitance. So what we will see, starting out with a nanohenry. And those are used in radio, RF, stuff like that. And they are good at filtering circuits, let's say, around 100 megahertz. And then we get a little bigger, we can get into the microhenry, which is what you'll see in switch mode power supplies for smoothing the ripple. And they're good, around 50 kilohertz. And then when you get into the millihenries, that's a big inductor. And that you're going to see in things like audio crossover circuits. I don't know why I wrote that over there. I'm feeling a little dyslexic tonight. Anyway, they're good up to about 50K. So, like we said, what can be an inductor? Well, anything can be an inductor. This simple coil of wire is an inductor, and it's very, very small. Now, here's another one I wound. Let's zoom in here. And this one has that circular donut-shaped core in it called a toroid. This measures 0.05 microhenries. Now here's another one with a slightly smaller toroid and a slightly smaller number of turns. This one has about 20 turns. This one has about 10. It measures 0.01 microhenries. And finally, here's an even smaller toroid that just has 5 turns, and it measures 0.001 microhenries. And finally, here's some magnet wire. Whoop, you'd like to see that, wouldn't you? Here's some magnet wire wrapped around a roll of electrical tape. I don't know, about 100 turns or so. And this measures 0.5 microhenries, half a microhenry. So this has got some serious inductance to it. So that being said, let's take a look at a circuit so we can see how the inductor behaves and shapes a waveform. Okay, here's our circuit, pretty simple. I'm just feeding in a 200 kilohertz square wave at 2 volts peak to peak through the inductor, and then with a 20 ohm load to ground. Pretty simple. Let's go and take a look on the oscilloscope. There's our square wave. No big deal. Now, when I plug the signal in here, it's going to mess up my square wave a little bit. But just keep imagining that's a square wave. Now, that's channel 1. That is our straight input wave. And now I'm going to probe channel 2 on that inductor. And what do you see here? I'm going to turn off channel A. Well, there's that characteristic that we talked about. The inductor charges, flattens out, and then when the current is removed or reversed, there's that discharge. So that's pretty cool. And that is all we're going to talk about today, because there's so much about inductors that this is just the most brief intro. But even though it's the most brief intro, I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. That's it. I'm out. Peace.